What's up, bikers? If you are like me, you live in the northern hemisphere and it's nearly winter. And so your training goes up and your riding goes down. But how do you attack your training so that in the spring, you're better on your bike? That's what we're gonna look at today. You might be tempted to look at an off-season or a winter training program that starts with a cardio base. So bringing up your cardio fitness over a number of weeks at the start to form a foundation moving forwards. However, you've just been riding over the summer, surely your cardio base is already there. And we know that cardio doesn't take that long to get and also drops off pretty quick. So if you focus on cardio from now until Christmas, say, and then start looking at strength and conditioning and all of the assistance movements that will help your functionality on the bike, then by the time you get to the start of the season, you're gonna have to readdress that cardio that you may have lost because you're doing better strength-based training. Instead, if you start with strength here, it gives us an opportunity to work on power, then speed, then endurance. So because the strength element is going to be the longest to get and we want to sustain that throughout, we're going to build this strength. We're going to take it all the way with some assistance and continued strength training. However, when we introduce the power, we're then going to start that and continue all the way along. And then the speed, and then the endurance on the other side. So we do peak, but during this time, we have a good conditioning base. So what we do at Fit for Racing and what we found works really, really well for mountain bikers is that conditioning after particular elements of training build the best function and ability on the bike. So the conditioning is where we add and continue these elements so that when we peak just before race season, that's because of the type of conditioning that we do to support the different elements that are periodized. But this simply means that we can have a focus area so that then we do peak, but even if you started strength training here, then you would still be better on the bike because of the type of conditioning and supportive exercise and capacity work that we do. So how does that look during the off season? Well, strength, let's take that down here to squats, deadlifts, pressing, pulling. These are all slow lifts to build absolute strength. These are going to be in smaller rep ranges, so 3s, 5s, 7s maybe, to build a good solid strength base without adding too much mass, because we know that power to weight ratio is super important as a rider. So we want to increase the strength and not necessarily turn you into a bodybuilder. The conditioning element when we're looking at these strength movements would look like an assistance movement. So on one day, when we do squats as a compound initial movement, then you might be doing some pulling off the ground. So lighter deadlifts, cleans, kettlebell swings, single leg deadlifts, things that will support all of the hip development that we've got on that compound movement. When we start working power, we simply increase the speed and we increase the volume of work that we do. Anything that's going to increase velocity, lower the weight. Again, with speed, we're going to do more volume, speed, less weight, more jumping, plyometric type stuff, and then adding all of that to this strength and power base. So the assistance work on these two will continue with some slow lifts, but only enough to maintain what we've already built. And then endurance, we're simply going to combine a lot of these things into a GPP or general physical preparedness program that's going to run to the start of the season, which is predominantly conditioning based with elements of these, but reflecting a lot more of the type of demand that you'll find on the bike so that it's more sport specific, and everything combined here ends up being a peak at the end, but without the negative effects of separating them completely. This might look like a massive mess, And I really hope that it sinks in and some value is there so that you understand how we at Fit for Racing plan our off-season so that you can continue getting fitter regardless, and nothing about your fitness will drop off because you're focusing on a particular area. But that's Fit for Racing in a nutshell. It might not make any sense whatsoever. I didn't mean to confuse you. If you are confused though, sign up to a program and we'll look after everything for you. You just follow the videos and the PDFs that we send you so your weekly training is totally looked after. Volume and movements are scalable to your ability depending on your needs, and we are always here to answer any questions. So visit fitforracing.com, get yourself signed up, and I will see you on the other side. Peace. What's up, bikers? What's up? It like resets me. What's up, bikers? I'm Johnny Thompson from Fit for Racing, and what's up, bikers? 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 My words come out faster than I can think, so then my brain has to catch up because it's slower than my mouth.